Hi, Jay Smith from Model Aviation Magazine at the Toledo Expo, and I'm in the Dave Brown Products booth with the man himself, Dave Brown, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the Vortex custom cut spinners. Hi, Dave.
How we doing?
Good.
Yeah, over the years we've developed a process for cutting these spinners to fit various propellers. It's amazing to see the variety of propellers that will go into some sizes of spinner, particularly, for example, a 3.5 inch. I'll have people ask for a 3.5 inch spinner for everything from a 7.4 to a 3210. It just seems like everything in between. We also have to cut the back plates, as you can see here, for all the various engines. They got 6-bolt patterns and 4-bolt patterns, and I don't know how many bolts or how many holes are in that one. It's a whole bunch. But it's amazing the variety. The engine manufacturers haven't standardized a lot of things. So right now, in my computer, I've got files for 5,000 different cutouts. And it still seems like when I get orders, probably 1 out of every 6 or 7 orders will be a prop that I haven't done. As to the back plates, I think at last count I had 29 different hole patterns for back plates. And there again, most of those I have, but every once in a while I'll get a surprise. Somebody will come up with a new one. But we CNC cut them. I've got a machine that everybody looks at it. When I first did it, the guys out in the shop dubbed it my mouse trap that indexes these to make those cutouts and so on. Works very well, and has served us well for better than 10 years. It just keeps on working. But the cutting them to fit the propeller really ends up making a much better looking product in the long run. A general cut is fine, works pretty well. Certainly the cutouts don't affect performance or any of that kind of thing, but they do make a big difference in terms of what the end thing looks like. That's what most people want. Most people nowadays are concerned about what the thing appears like.
So if a customer provides you all the data necessary to cut one, what's the turnaround time typically?
I'd like to say we'll send them out the same day, but that doesn't work often. It's usually a day or two from the time someone either sends it up to our internet site or gives us a call. A good portion of these are telephone calls. Special cuts, they'll run in groups. If they happen to catch me when we're doing them, sometimes they'll go out within a couple of hours. Other times it might be a couple of days, depending upon what we're doing and what other projects I have. Like right now, obviously things have come to a grinding halt while we're up here at the trade show. And sometimes, for example, if somebody wants one that has a drilled back plate and a special cutout, well, the drilled back plate is done on the same machine that I make the discs for the back plates and so on, and sometimes I might have that job in the machine, so it may take a couple of days before I can get into there with it. But generally speaking, it's 2-3 days, at most. The transit time is more of a factor, in all honesty, than the time for us to get around to doing it. We charge a minimal charge. I think we charge $5 for doing the special cut, or $5 to do the holes in the back plate. And the particular thing I'd like to emphasize to anyone out there, if you order a spinner from us and it's going on an engine that takes a 10 millimeter hole, our back plates, the standard hole is 3/8. A lot of the larger engines need a 10 millimeter hole. Ask us to ream the hole. Okay, even if you're going to drill it yourself, ask us to ream the hole. I don't charge anything for reaming that hole, but I get huge numbers, it seems like, of guys that will ruin the back plate trying to take this out to 10 millimeter with a drill. It just doesn't work. They cob it all up and make a mess of it. And the other thing is, we use an adapter nut on all of ours, and make sure that when you order the spinner, you order an adapter nut, or that you have an adapter nut. Now, as it turns out, our adapter nuts and those of many of the other manufacturers are pretty much interchangeable, as long as it uses a 1032 screw in the front, which all of the domestic manufacturers are. Any of those adapter nuts will work with our spinners and vice versa. But you will need an adapter nut, even with some of the big engines that you could theoretically just use a long 1032 screw. We still recommend that adapter nut. The long screws have a little bit too much tendency to break.
Great. Well, what is your web address for anyone that'd be interested in finding out more?
Yeah, they want to find our web address. It's www.dbproducts.com, or they can email us at sitemaster, SITEMSTR, at dbproducts.com.
Excellent. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us, Dave.
Thank you.